This is Big Business with Sarah. This podcast guides you to finding what you desire most in life and business, because running a business is very much about your personal development. In this podcast, I'm sharing what my clients ask me and how I help them. Thanks for joining. Welcome back to another episode of Big Business with Sarah. I'm so happy you're here, and it's, turning into summer right now. I'm very happy about the weather, and it's so nice and warm out, and many interesting things happening in my business, including a question coming in from one of my clients. And she's new to the mastermind, and we were talking about everything. We did a kickoff call and everything that she wanted, and we hadn't talked about in the kickoff call, but we had a coaching call on Tuesday, and she was talking about actually the desire to have a team member. So we're going to talk about this. And before you're thinking, oh, a team member, that's not for me, maybe you should actually consider listening to this one, because it might actually help you. Full disclosure, I have said goodbye to almost all my team members. I'm having someone who is editing my video for YouTube. So hello, Timon, you're probably listening. But I've said goodbye to all my team members, and one of the reasons why was because I wanted to have my business fully just me, and that's a choice I made at the beginning of this year. And so it all worked out. But the thing that I'm doing doesn't mean that it has to work out for you. I'm running an online business, and I'm also helping very many people who are running a physical business. And then, yes, a team, of course, is implied, and that is something that you need or not, but most of the time I would say it is. So I'm sharing with you today 3 compelling reasons why a solopreneur like yourself should consider hiring a team member, followed by 3 reasons when it might not be the right time. So let's actually just dive in. So the decision to hire a team member is very, very much a pivotal moment in any solopreneur's journey, and it really can bring about many significant changes to your business. So if you've reached a point in your journey where you're contemplating hiring a new team member, it's really good to have several factors to consider. So that's why I'm sharing this with you, to help you kind of make a list and say, oh, you know what, check, or not. And so let's begin with the 3 reasons why hiring a team member could be very advancing for your business. So that's really going to help you grow, because obviously that's what you want. You want your business to grow bigger, or maybe you want to step out a little bit more out of your daily routines, and you actually want to create maybe less and or more. And so, for instance, this particular client is doing a lot of work, hands-on work actually, but she wants to focus more on the design process itself and not so much on the hands-on work afterwards. So that's her reason. So as a solopreneur, you know that your time is a valuable resource. And I would really, really suggest, if you are a freelancer, to stop charging hourly rates, because hourly rates are for lonely, maybe lonely people, but lazy people. I'm going to look up the episode that I'm talking about that, where I'm talking about that. But by hiring a team member, you can delegate tasks and responsibilities that don't necessarily require your personal attention, So that is also a very important one, that, once you're doing that you're not always, having to look over someone's shoulder and saying, oh, actually you should do this, and, don't be a micromanager. So, and this allows you to focus on your core competencies and strategic business activities, working on your business, ultimately leveraging your time and expertise more effectively. So I'm still looking up the episode number. Yes, number 60 of this podcast. Hourly rates are for lazy people. So the second reason is to increase productivity and efficiency. So if you're building a team, it really happens to be more hands on deck. And with the right team members, but also with your, with the instructions that you're giving them, you can really accomplish tasks and projects more efficiently, and which leads to increased productivity, at least in your business. And so if you're creating a well-aligned team, you can bring diverse skill sets to the table, complementing each other's strengths and filling in gaps, thereby propelling your business forward. This is something that I'm, that I'm a business coach, but I've also been an interim manager before this, and so many managers or CEOs have no idea how to do this. So, just having your ego there and saying, you know what, I need a team, but that's not really it. You need people that are aligned and that understand their job and what they're doing. And so often, when I was an interim manager, I would come into a business and then I would see, of course, also partly unhappy people, or at least unhappy with their job, because I'm the interim manager and I have to, see what I can do. And how can I, and then figure out how can I help them in order to be more happy. And I think that's really the only thing that you have to do as a manager or CEO. Focus on your people and if they are happy. I'm also going to talk about that later in the episode. So another reason why it's really great to be able to hire a team member is that you're able to scale and grow in your business. So as your business expands, you will need additional support to handle the increased workloads and explore new opportunities. This doesn't always have to be the case. I thought it was the case for my business, but actually it isn't. But maybe for you, a team member can help you take on more clients, maybe develop new products or services, or you can do that because your team member is doing the day-to-day. And maybe you want to pursue growth strategies that will be challenging to tackle alone. And, those are the three reasons why you should do that. And while hiring a team member can be really immensely beneficial, it is important to recognize that it might not always be the right decision for every solopreneur. So now I'm going to explore 3 reasons when hiring a team member might not be the best option. And I don't have to say this, and this was one thing that my client was talking about, is that there is the financial consideration. So the cost of hiring and maintaining a team member can be a significant financial burden for you. And especially when you're just starting or facing tight budget, and this is also the case with this particular client. She knows that it costs a lot of money to hire a team member. But what I've talked about with her this week and asked her to do is to actually write down how much it will cost, and then seeing if she can make that money that she needs in order to hire a team member, and then actually see what happens, and have maybe a 1-year contract and see how that goes. So expenses such as salaries, benefits, additional resources must be really carefully evaluated to ensure they align with the business's financial capabilities, obviously. And it's crucial to have a clear plan for generating sufficient revenue to cover these costs. But actually, when you're listening to this and you're thinking, I never actually thought of myself having a team member, but maybe you actually just really want to write it down. Imagine if at some point in my life or in my business, I want to hire someone, how much is it actually going to cost? What are we talking about here? Is it 40K, 50K, 60K, 70K? How much, in total, including all the benefits? Or, do you want to work with someone under contract? Or maybe do you want to hire a freelancer? Those are all different expenses that you're talking about here, and all different kinds of attachments that you're having to the person. So the second reason is that it might be that there's a lack of clear roles and responsibilities. And this is what I'm seeing happen all the time. So bringing a team member on board requires defining clear roles and responsibilities. So if you are not prepared to delegate effectively or unsure what tasks to assign. So, for instance, I see this happen all the time, that someone thinks that they should hire someone and they maybe decide to hire an intern, someone who is still studying. And, of course, someone who hasn't had a lot of work experience yet is going to be less effective than someone who is a senior and might cost a little bit more, but actually will gain you way more. So if you are not prepared to delegate this effectively or unsure of what tasks to assign, it may lead to confusion and inefficiency. And a solid foundation of systems and processes is necessary to ensure that everyone understands their roles and can work cohesively towards common goals. So creating processes, I wrote a newsletter about it last week. You can find it on bureausbb.com/newsletter. It's a free article, and there I'm talking about processes and how important it actually is, and how important it is to actually have those in place. And maybe you're thinking, I don't need a process, but maybe you should read it and be surprised. I'm also helping someone right now. I'm coaching someone right now who's working for a business, and she's having a team, and I'm helping her really create a 70-step process, create that into a 7-step process. So that's actually right now what we're doing. There's so much more coming, but that's currently what we're working on. And seeing how many processes you have, and and really see if you can reduce those. And the funny thing is that if you've read the full article, you might actually, and this is something that I realized for the past months, or actually half year before January, so the past year, is that I don't really need a team member. I just need a very clear process in my business. So it's really up to you. And the last one is a really important one, and I'm talking about this in my big business course because I find it so important, and I find it so, because I am a coach, obviously, and I want to give, I'm detaching from the outcome from my client, obviously. What my client is doing with my information is not up to me, but I'm doing as much as I can to create great leaders. And so I'm having an entire module on leadership and how you can, prepare yourself to be a really great leader. And actually, I only want to work with people who actually want to be a great boss for someone. So hiring a team member means transitioning into a leadership role. You already have a leadership role in your business, but it's just you, yourself, and you. So are you prepared to be a mentor, guide, and manager in one? So leading a team requires effective communication, conflict resolution skills, and the ability to inspire and motivate others. And if you are not ready to embrace these responsibilities, then it might be better to wait until you've developed the necessary leadership skills, or that you're looking at other leaders, or maybe you're going to read books, or maybe you can ask someone to help you, through coaching, or follow a course on leadership. So, remember that the decision to hire a team member should be made after really careful consideration of your business needs, financial situation, and personal readiness for leadership. It is not a decision to take lightly. I want to say this. I'm seeing this so often. I did this too, and I wish someone had stopped me. But I mean, of course, I am responsible, and I should have known this, obviously. But my ego really decided, no, I need a team because I have a big business. That's also what my program is called. But now the bigness is not within, what people see, but it is what is in me. So really, if you are prepared to leverage your time, increase productivity, and embrace the growth potential that comes with a team, it might be the right choice for you. Because it can also be that someone really surprises you. So back when I was a freelancer, I loved that. I was having... in 2021, I had a great year, and actually I had taken on a little bit too much projects, and then I was looking for someone to assist me, and then a senior person actually asked me, can I assist you? And I was like, yeah, but I can't really pay you. And then she said, yeah, but I can do it in much less time. And I was like, yes, you're actually absolutely right. And it was really one of the best business decisions I've ever made, to really go from to really look for help, very specifically on a specific, in this case, very specific projects. So yeah, best of luck thinking about this. And I'm very curious to hearing if you're considering getting that team member. And now it's time for one of your questions. Today, it's not a recorded question, but actually a question coming in from my inbox. And this person is working in the cultural sector, and she wants to become a freelancer. And she asked me if I could help her with some tips, on how to start running her cultural or her freelance business in the cultural sector, in arts and culture. This is where I'm coming from as well, also human rights and tech, but also the cultural sector. So here's my tips for you. So if I would start again, with all the knowledge that I'm having now, is that I would make it very, very easy for people to work with me. So I would have a website. I would probably have some packages, for instance, not so much based on hourly rates, but solution based. So if someone would, for instance, I used to be an interim manager. So if it would be an interim trajectory of, let's say, I really don't remember my prices actually anymore, but let's say for 1 year, it would cost someone 80,000. I'm not really sure anymore. If I would work maybe 24 hours on that. I don't really remember my prices. I'm sorry, I should have looked that up. But it's okay. Let's just say, for the sake of argument that, 80,000 for 24 hours a week. Or I didn't even mention the price, but actually to solve a part of your business or to really help you in that. So that could be something, or maybe you can think about, that was actually interim manager. That was really work that I did. Or maybe you can do consulting, so which is just, giving advice and not so much implementing, a little bit implementing as well, but then it's already not consulting anymore. Or maybe coaching, maybe you're coaching different teams. And actually when I was an interim manager, I was already a little bit of a team coach, but yeah, I didn't call it that way. But, kind of create packages of everything that you're really good at and try to think, what is something that people are going to ask me, and also create additional options, add-ons. If people maybe, something that I would also do is that if people want to reach me 24/7, they never do actually 24/7, but I mean, let's say at Friday at 7 p.m., that to me feels like 24/7 because that's really my free time. Then I would actually tell them, what you can call me, but it's going to cost you. You are going to have to pay for that after hours. And that's fine, right? So I am available, but you are going to have to pay for that because it's and then really setting those boundaries. So that's also something that I would really do. What are the requirements? So for instance, right now, nobody has my telephone number of my clients, or just a few who are also friends, but I really don't want to communicate through the telephone. And actually, whilst I'm saying this, I remember that I should actually tell someone that I really don't want to do that. Why? Because I've built my business this way. And also, I'm asking a certain price. And for that price, then this is the availability that you have to me. So, maybe also another thing that you can do, what I spoke about earlier in the episode, is to hire other people to help you with something. So if there's a project that you've taken on and that there's part of the project that you don't want to do, maybe it's technical work, maybe it's repetitive work, or maybe it's just really having a sparring partner on a strategic level, then also consider hiring someone, and then always talk to your client about that you're going to do that, because you want to inform them, but also maybe create that for yourself, that you don't have to do it all alone. So my advice to you is to really create a network and a foundation of your business, and actually treat your business as if it is a big business. And that's what I'm teaching my clients. Obviously, I'm not saying that you need to have a big office, that you have to have a big team, no, that at all, but really that you're treating it like it is a big business. So for instance, if there's someone, asking you a question, into the customer service, then think about someone, maybe an alter ego that you are, or maybe someone that you're looking up to. So for instance, I'm thinking about Oprah in my case, because I love Oprah. I don't have to say this all the time, but I do. I love Oprah. She wouldn't be available for a customer service question through the telephone all the time. I mean, imagine, with O Magazine and Super Soul Conversations, and she won't be picking up the phone. So I'm thinking, from that perspective, and that's something that my clients all learn. And then I sometimes have to remind them of, and also remind myself of, because, hello, I'm a human being. And really build that big, strong foundation so that actually nobody really can miss you. Now, I have a question for you. So maybe an interesting exercise to do today or this weekend or whenever you're listening to this episode is to consider creating a organization chart for your business and or the future for your business. So, we've spoken about team members, we've spoken about that, and how would you like your organization chart to look like? I remember working with a business coach, and she told me that I should have done that, and I did that, and I really thought I liked it, and that's when I hired my team, but actually that was not the right step. But actually right now I think, just for fun, see what works, see what happens, because actually having that team is not, everything. That's really something that I'm telling you right now, but it can actually really help you go further and deeper. So yeah, just play around with this. So you are the CEO, of your organization, and then maybe you have someone on marketing, and maybe someone on sales, and maybe someone to help you create content, and maybe a technical person, a video editor. Maybe you have someone who is doing all graphic work, maybe someone who's helping you with organizing your events, all these, and maybe a coach as well could be also in your organization chart because they are part of your business. You're investing in that. So all these puppets and that are not there yet, maybe you can already write down a name for someone that you're considering of hiring. And just have fun with it. And if you want, you can always share your chart with me. You can send a message to me on LinkedIn or Instagram, because I always like to see what my listeners are doing and how it's activating my podcast, how it's activating your business. So I really hope you enjoyed listening to this episode. I am having a really nice €44 offer this week, actually, because we're starting June 1st. I'm not really sure when I'm going to close the doors. And it's called Mindset Motivation. And this was based on another client's question. And it's every 3 days, I'm sending an email with an audio exercise to really get the June flow going and start the summer fresh with a fresh mindset. So very excited about that one to have a go check it out. It's going to be a lot of fun, and it's not really that much money. So if you are considering of working with me, then that's really the way to start. Thank you so much for listening, and looking forward to next week. Thank you for listening to Big Business with Sarah. If you've enjoyed today's episode, leave a 5-star review and hit subscribe. If you're ready for your next step in business, you can find out how to work with me in the show notes. Do not forget to submit your coaching question for one of my next episodes. Have a happy day.